some other news. The first Inside the Ice House episode of 2026 has officially debuted. Lance Glynn sat down with Jonathan Gray, president and COO of NYSE-listed Blackstone, the world's largest alternative asset manager. As the firm celebrated its 40th anniversary last year, Gray shares how Blackstone continues to uphold what sparked its success decades ago.
When I step back and look at it all collectively, what makes me most excited is that the core values that really started the firm, the idea of operating at very high standard in terms of integrity, constantly striving for excellence in everything we do, attracting and retaining great people, delivering for customers in our business in the form of returns, having a real meritocracy, all the things, and having people who are genuinely nice to one another, all those core values have carried through to today. So even though we're a much bigger firm, it's still run like the same small business and still a lot of the same values. And so that's what makes this, I think, particularly special.
Gray also pulled back the curtain on Blackstone's investment playbook, revealing the key questions that the firm asked before making big decisions. Take a listen.
What are the key criteria? Does the business have a big TAM it can serve so it can grow? The total available market's large. Does the business have good revenue trends? Because obviously it's tough if they don't. Does the business have a good management team? Sometimes you buy businesses, you need to make changes. It's often easier, of course, if it's a great management team. Is the business more or less capital intensive? There are good businesses that are capital intensive, but generally if you use less capital, that's better. Is the business high margin versus low margin? Does the business have one customer you depend on selling that product, or does it have a zillion customers? Are the revenues like our original M&A business non-recurring, meaning you start with no, or like in investment management where you have base fees that when you open the door at the beginning of the year? There are all sorts of criteria you're looking at. And so when I spend my weekends reading investment committee memos, I'm doing it through the lens of both the big picture, that neighborhood question, but then the specifics of the quality of that business and the management team that runs it.
As the conversation wraps up, Gray dives into Blackstone's bet on AI, explaining why investing in the physical infrastructure behind this technology gives the firm a low-risk way to capitalize on the mega trend.
We feel like doing the picks and shovels, if you go back to the gold miners in 1849 in San Francisco, is a lower risk way to play this megatrend. So for us, we become the biggest investor in the world in data centers all around the globe, US, Europe, Asia. We become a massive investor in power. And if you think about the data centers, the robots, the autonomous vehicles, they're all going to need electricity. They're all going to plug into the wall. So for us, it's, invest in generation, in transmission, in utilities, invest in utility services, electrical equipment. So that's probably been the biggest way we've played this. But then again, we're also investing in some of the LLMs a little bit. Smaller amounts, and then in some of the promising application software that will sit on top of the AI.
All right, thanks again to Blackstone President and COO Jonathan Gray, and of course our Lance Glynn for that interview. Well, tune in each week throughout 2026 for brand new episodes of Inside the Ice House podcast. They drop every Monday morning just in time for your weekly commute. You can watch and listen wherever you get your podcasts, and of course by scanning the QR code that you see here on your screen.